Danny O'Neill, our friend from the Emerald City, joining us here on the Morning Run. Oh, and in the holiday spirit, as we can see a Christmas tree right behind him.
Looking good.
What is your reaction, Danny, as well as the reaction among Seahawks fans to Richard Sherman's eloquence?
Well, I think that it's not a surprise that Richard Sherman would use one of his press conferences as sort of an opportunity to take issue with the league. In fact, whether it's defensive pass interference, all of the different things that he's enumerated. And he speaks to something that I think a lot of players feel, which is that the league, on the one hand, has this emphasis on player safety, and on the other hand, has expanded a Thursday night schedule, which there's no doubt that that is a demand on players' bodies. Are guys falling down at some sort of biblical plague rate with injuries on Thursday? No, they're not. But I think there's a lot of discussion about the quality of play. And look, you cut their preparation time essentially in half, and that means you cut their recovery time in half. The question, as always, is would the players give up money? Would they leave money on the table to not have Thursday night games? Because we all know why it's there. It's a huge broadcast entity for the NFL.
So what does it say about the mindset of the players that are coming off their worst loss of the season and going into that short week with not much prep time?
Yeah, this is actually probably the best scenario for Seattle in that they didn't have time. They didn't even watch the tape as a team. There simply wasn't time. By the time they got back, and it was a little bit before midnight on Sunday, they were already turned the page and preparing to face the Rams. And something very similar happened last year. They played their Thursday night game. It was in week 11, week 10, my apologies. They lost in week 9 to the Arizona Cardinals at home. They gave up 39 points in that game. It was the most they allowed all season. They turned around and had an opportunity to go right back on the road and play the 49ers, and that turned out to kind of be the turning point in their season. They're hoping something similar because, like you mentioned it, that loss in Green Bay, this is the time of year Seattle usually puts together an incredible run, and there they were. That was the worst loss they've had in 5 years.